You are listening to AHRAZPod, a podcast by the Association of the Human Rights for the Azerbaijani People in Iran. I am Sina.
And I am Behzad.
We will be with you with the recent human rights violation reports for Azerbaijani people in Iran with our short informative podcasts. To get updates on human rights violations in Iran, please follow AHRAZ's social media accounts. You are listening to AHRAZPod. Hello, Behzad. We have several updates on the human rights violation in Azerbaijan region of Iran, and we got updates on several cases related to the protests and other cases that we have. What do you have about the recent issues of human rights in Azerbaijan?
Thank you, Sina. Thank you for having me here. We have several updates regarding several human rights violation cases in Azerbaijan region of Iran. We got updates on several cases related to the protests in Tabriz and other Azerbaijani populated cities. The protests occurred 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago, on July. According to local reports, more than 150 protesters got arrested. One of them is Ulduz Ghasemi, an Azerbaijani activist from Tabriz. She got arbitrarily detained once she attended the protest on July 24th this year. During the protest, she got arrested by the security agents and she experienced mistreatments from the security agents. 1 day later, she got released under bail and she was waiting for her hearing court. And recently, she got summoned to her hearing court on October 18th, 2021, based on the accusation of breaching and disturbing the public peace. We have another case related to this protest, Sina. We have Yusuf Salashur. He's also an Azerbaijani activist. He's a dance coach as well. Apparently, he was inviting people to attend the protests on July 24th this year, and he got arrested the next day. His court session took place on October 3rd with accusation of inviting the public for violent actions on social media. And by the way, Sina, this is not his first time getting arrested because of his activities. He got arrested and interrogated and threatened before many times based on his activity.
Yes, thank you for the information. So what is actually interesting over here with the reports that we received from Iran, from the eyewitnesses and governmental reports and many other reports, it is indicated that this protest day was an exceptional day because eyewitnesses are saying that there are more than 150 protesters being detained, arrested, and so on. Another issue which is very weird is the last day that I was going through the constitutional law of Islamic Republic of Iran, I saw Article 27, which is about the right to assembly, and it is clearly indicated that public gatherings and marches may be freely held if they protesters don't have any arms and weaponry being carried. And while seeing these protests in Azerbaijan and the cities of Azerbaijan, we can see that, yes, there was no arm and there were no weaponry, and it was a pretty peaceful protest. And this is kind of going against the constitutional law of Iran by the government itself, which is very weird.
It is absurd, Sina. This is exactly against Iran's constitutional law because the constitution recognized the right for protest, peaceful protest, or any ongoing issues in the country. But Iran violates its own constitutional law. And this is not the first time. It happened several times over the years. For example, last year, there was protests in Erdebil. 12 Azerbaijan activists they got arrested. The protest was against Iran's government supporting Armenia during Azerbaijan-Armenia war. Iran arrested 12 activists, and after a year, now today we got an update on their cases. They got charged with total of 180 months of prison and 888 lashes based on their accusations of disturbing public peace. And their protest was really peaceful. So I personally was observing the news about the protests in that time.
So, do we have any other cases, Behzad?
Yes, we have several other cases. One of them is another Azerbaijani civil rights activist. His name is Ekber Muhadjiri. He got arbitrarily detained on November 2019, almost 3 years ago, with accusation of being member of a political party called Damads. Based on this accusation, he got sentenced to 3 years of prison by the Revolutionary Court of Tabriz. Later, he took the case to appeal court, and the appeal court reduced his charge to 6 months of prison. However, the Supreme Court of Iran confirmed his original charge without reduction. So he got charged with 3 years of prison based on being a member of a political party. That's only accusation he has. We have also another update on Arash Shadman, a teacher, a photographer, an artist. He's also a master's student in art. He's a student at the Islamic Arts University of Tabriz. He got arbitrarily arrested on September 30th. So far, we have no information on his case. We don't know where is he located now. There's no update on his situation and the reason why he got arrested. And by the way, Sina, this is not his first time either, because he got arrested almost 3 years ago. Since he's a photographer, he was taking photos like 3 years ago from the protests in Tabriz. Apparently, the security agents, they summon him and they interrogate him and threaten him not to distribute the photos he took from the protests.
Interesting. This is also an interesting case because while I was going through the legislation of Islamic Republic of Iran, I have not noticed anything regarding taking photographs. But I also, noticed that the media is free in the country. But it seems that even taking photographs for any reason is kind of the reason for arrestment or detaining, which is again, I think, as you use the term, is absurd. And it is unacceptable. Just, a government shouldn't be afraid of photographs because it is clearly indicated that the media is free and there is this freedom of media in the constitutional law of Iran. And yeah, it is kind of weird and unacceptable.
It is really unacceptable. Like Iran is violating its constitutional law. Then somebody comes and takes photos, which is a peaceful act. It's just for social media. They also arrest the photographers. This is like ridiculous. I don't know what to say. Like,
Yeah, same here. I'm speechless, Behzad. Do we have any other updates, or that was all?
no, we have one more update on Ruzbeh Piri's case.
Mm-hmm.
He is also an Azerbaijani civil rights activist from Tabriz. Apparently, he got arrested based on the claims of providing false information against the Islamic Republic of Iran on social media. He got arrested on September 9th this year. He got temporarily released from Tabriz prison several days later, and according to his brother, during his detention, he got tortured and transferred to solitary confinement.
Thank you. Thank you for your information, Behzad. Yeah, this is kind of another example of arbitrarily detaining a person and accusing someone of thing which is called false information, sharing false information against the government without giving any details that, what are the boundaries of this sharing. And, because there is this, again, freedom of usage for social media. And we have this accusation, which is not tangible and which forces the person who is detained or arrested to fail to defend himself because he is basically don't know what he's being accused of clearly. And this is kind of, again, not acceptable and sad.
So, we have several activists. They are still waiting for their hearing courts. I will give you further updates on their cases later.
Thank you very much, Behzad, for being with us today. And we will actually continue sharing these podcasts on the human rights issues of Iran. Please don't hesitate to share your comments, ideas below the post that we are going to share this podcast on social media. And we believe that without respect for human rights and freedom of nations, peace cannot be achieved. Thanks for listening to us.